ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ Namaste, all of you. Welcome back to our continuing study of Shrimad Bhagawad Geetha from the pages of Poojya Swamiji's, Poojya Swami Dayananda Saraswati's Geetha home study course. In these sessions, we are together exploring chapter 2 of Shrimad Bhagawad Geetha, titled Sankhya Yogaha. Sankhya Yogaha, the topic of knowledge. The topic of knowledge. By the grace of Ishvara and all our gurus, we have reached the important 47th shloka of this chapter 2, in which Lord Krishna actually talks about the important sadhana of karma yoga. Although he had alluded to it earlier, he is actually introducing karma yoga squarely in the 47th shloka. I will recite this important shloka and then we will continue our study. Shloka 47. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhuh ma te sangostva karmani is the important 47th shloka. Krishna defines karma yoga in two ways. As we have been studying earlier, it would be worth recalling those two channels of karma yoga, if I may call it. One is proper action. Proper action in keeping with the laws of dharma as laid out by our scriptures. Proper action. Sat karmani, as Swami Paramarthananda would explain it. And then Krishna talks about the right attitude when experiencing the results of action. Karma phala. that results from our actions, predominantly right actions. The phalam that we receive is given out by the karma phala data that Ishvara is. Ishvara is the karma phala data. Ishvara, being who he is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. He or she, Ishvara or Ishvari, will bless us with the right karma phala that is a resultant of all our actions at this given moment. Ishvara or Ishvari are the karma phala data. So, while receiving karma phala, Krishna says we must entertain the right attitude, which Swami Paramarthananda calls Sadbhavana. Sadbhavana. Sat karmani, right action, and sad bhavana means right attitude. Krishna will elaborate this in the upcoming verses. Let us continue studying Shloka 47 and hear from Poojya Swamiji how one is to understand Shloka 47. Give me a moment. An important topic that is discussed in our Shastras and that will be discussed, that is discussed here in this shloka, and that will be discussed by Krishna in chapter 6, is the principle or the topic of human free will. The topic of human free will or Purushartha. Purushartha has various facets. Purushartha can be looked as goals. Purushartha can also be interpreted as human free will. Poojya Swamiji says, you have a free will, just as there is a free wheel in a car. Just as there is a free wheel in a car. You can only go by that. You can only go by your free will. Whether the brakes will work in the context of the car, you can only go by the free wheel. Whether the brakes will work is anyone's guess. You can check them, no doubt, but at any time, they can give way. That is why they have special ramps every few miles on the highways for runaway trucks whose brakes have failed. Imagine. It is not that every truck driver takes to the road without first having checked his brakes, but that anything can go wrong at any time. It is because when things are put together, their tendency is to fall apart. Whether it is a human system or any other system. Whether it is a human system or any other system, the tendency is always the same. Anything that is put together will, in course of time, fall apart. This tendency to fall apart applies to relationships and houses too. In fact, you often spend more time maintaining your house than living in it. So says Swamiji. Therefore, here you can only go by your free will. Free will. There is nothing else you can do. What the result will be, what the result will be depends on so many unknown factors that it is always a question mark. What the result will be depends on so many unknown factors that it is always a question mark. Whether what you want from a particular karma will happen as you expected is anyone's guess. Is anyone's guess. Since you do not have a complete choice, listen carefully, since you do not have a complete choice over the results of action, you had better recognize this limitation. Since you do not have a complete choice over the results of action, you had better recognize this limitation. Limitation here is not helplessness. No. Limitation here is not helplessness. Helplessness is felt only when you do not accept the limitation, and therefore it has a negative connotation. Whereas acknowledging limitation is being objective. Very important observation by Poojya Swamiji. Limitation here is not helplessness. Helplessness is felt only when you do not accept the limitation, and therefore it has a negative connotation. Whereas acknowledging limitation is being objective. Therefore, dismissing the concept of helplessness from our minds, we recognize our limitations as individuals. Dismissing the concept of helplessness from our minds, we recognize our limitations as individuals. Because there is a limitation in knowledge and power, you cannot figure out exactly what you want. All of these sentences merit repeated listening. Because there is a limitation in knowledge and power, you cannot figure out exactly what you want. Nor do you know exactly what any given action will produce. When you understand this limitation, even at the karma yoga level, there is a certain good amount of understanding that is required. When you understand this limitation, you can respond to the results of action in terms of samatva. In terms of samatva, sameness of mind. Any result can be responded to in either of two ways, says Swamiji. Dispassionately, with samatva, or like a yo-yo, elated because you got what you wanted, or suicidal because you did not. Any result can be responded to in either of two ways: dispassionately with samatva, or like a yo-yo, elated because you got what you wanted, or suicidal because you did not. And if someone saves you from suicide, you will respond again like a yo-yo, feeling that you could not, feeling that you could not even commit suicide successfully, thereby developing yet another complex. My God, how beautifully Swamiji analyzes. This yo-yo response is because you think that you are the author of every result of action, when in fact you are only the author of action. Karmani eva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Dispassion is created, sorry, depression. Depression is created by some onerous responsibility. You have assumed one that is absolutely illegitimate. One that is absolutely illegitimate. You take what does not belong to you and then smart under it, because you cannot always produce what you want. Depression is created by some onerous responsibility, says Swamiji. You have assumed, which you need not have. One that is absolutely illegitimate. You take what does not belong to you and then smart under it because you cannot always produce what you want. This is a fact, says Poojya Swamiji. Then why do you not just accept the fact? What fact? The fact that you are only the author of karma and not of the result of karma. Why not just accept this fact? All that is required is to accept it objectively. To accept that this is how the creation is. I am the author of karma. I am not the author of the karma phala. This is what you are made up of and no one else. Even a Swami is made any differently. This is what you're made up of. All human beings have the same types of limitations. All human beings have the same type of limitations. According to the Shastra, even the Devas, even the Devas have the same limitations. Albeit, although with some small differences between them, just as there are between human beings. Devas are no different from us. There might be slight taratamyam or differences in quality, that's all. The limitations are the same, practically the same. Similarly, when the President of the United States, while the President of the United States definitely has more power than other people, yet he cannot appoint anyone he chooses as a judge. Once he realizes that he does not have a majority, he begins to withdraw quietly, proving that even presidential power is limited. Everyone's thumb has its size. Everyone's thumb has its size. Even if it swells, it can only become so big. In Tamil, the same expression is expressed as Veralukku Etha Veekam. Just because it is the president's thumb, it won't swell bigger than what it should swell. So says Swamiji. Let us continue this interesting study in the upcoming capsules and take it forward from there. Until then, Hari Om.